I'm like, okay, I'll
Sure.
go to Firefly. I'll be like, why does everybody like Mal so much, right? Why
Sure.
does everybody like Jane so much? Again, he's not always a likable character, right? But he's still
Almost
interesting.
never. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, almost never, but
exactly.
he's
Yeah.
still interesting and you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
want him to succeed, right? It's like, well, why? Like, and speaking of somebody controversial like Joss Whedon, right? But like it's
Mm,
interesting, right? Like well written, right? And then you
mm.
also think like every single character in that show was well written, also from a different perspective. And I think it's one of the greatest cast of characters that anybody has ever put together that has written something personally, because there's every single character that I'm like River's really cool, her brother's got a lot going on, but it's like Kaylee is really interesting. Like, why is she able to talk to a ship this well? When she was from a
Mm,
backwater, it's almost like her superpower, right? But it's
mm.
like everybody's got something, and I just think it's really interesting. And then even the secondary characters or villains, right? Like that one where they get taken on the space station, right? Like Nathan Fillion and Wash or whatever, like and Malik, they get taken, right? Like there's so many great lines. Like that in itself, right, could have been a movie, right? That episode.
Oh yeah,
Like they
yeah.
wrote episodic so well. So I totally get what you're saying, but like the first, few scenes, you're already like these characters are interesting, right?
Yeah.
And as each one pops up, they just get more interesting. So I totally agree. I think that, and I'm like, that show, it's like, can you really tell me, other than Rivers thing, right? Like them protecting her, like, and they make money, right? Like that's got to be one of the least like developed story arcs, you know what I mean, in a
Yeah,
first
yeah.
season, but still have such a
Yeah.
full richness, if
Well,
that makes sense.
because I think it's like you just said, which is that they investigated every episode as if it was his own
Exactly.
individual thing, and it doesn't feel like it's being stretched thin. What I'm very suspicious about with television is it's like, oh, you're just stretching this out to take my money, and I start to get really suspicious of that quickly. Whereas with Firefly, like you just said, they draw really interesting characters and interesting arcs over episodes, so that,
Yep.
like you said, you feel like you're getting a nutritious story every time you
Yep.
get one. And then,
Yep.
my hope is that they were setting up for long, obviously. All right.
Totally. Yeah.
You feel it. If you can, I'm far more forgiving if you don't get every plot element as long as you give me character. And what you just said about Jane is so good, because he is such a jerk. He really is. And then there's the moment where he's about to get dropped out of the airlock and he says the line, I have stolen so many, I just want to use it in everything I do, which is like, what are you going to tell him?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mal says, I don't know. And he says, lie to him. And
Yeah.
because you can tell that, oh my God, Jane cares about what other people think about him. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and he says the money was too good, which is just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this, but there is a line for me. And so I think it's a really good note. And also just way to bring up Firefly, because it really is. It's so good. It's
Well, it's
so
like,
good.
but that scene too, where he's like, oh man, I just lost my, but yeah, but he
Mm.
was like, oh no, he's like, you didn't do it to them, Jane, you did it to me,
To
you did
me,
it to
yeah.
me. Yeah, that scene I have studied
Oh,
so many
it's so
times, just
good.
character wise. Yeah,
Next time
yeah,
you want to stab me in the back, do it to my face.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's so many lines like that. Like the one, right, where I love where they like him and what's your name? Like meet their old army buddy, right? And like if you
Oh, yeah,
can't
Zoe. Yep,
walk, you crawl, and if not, somebody else will carry you, whatever. Like just
yep.
like that
It's
one
so
alone.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when like people are like they're trying to help, like the two of them carry the body and they're like, nope, we got it, like it was just like both times. It's like the beginning of the episode, the end of the episode, they say that. So to me, it was like there was like so many little nuances that like, but yeah,
Even
talk
the
about like character development.
even the worst episodes of Firefly are better than the best episodes of any show that there are, just because of stuff
Yep.
like you just said.
Yep.
Every single one of them is being treated as its own individual story that just happens to be an
Yep.
hour long. It could have been 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's really impressive stuff.